coming to you live from the underground lair at Liminal Legacy Media. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about this crazy phenomenon that I've encountered through this work I've been doing with Liminal Legacy Media, helping people tell their stories. And this is the phenomenon. It's that we think we know our grandparents, when really we often don't have the slightest clue who they really are. We trick ourselves into thinking that we know about their life and that we know about their life experiences, but then again, we don't often stop to ask them about their experiences. So over the past year and a half, I've just been digging into people's life stories, life experiences, and I had the opportunity recently to do one of these audio memoirs that I do, to start recording one for my wife's grandmother. So the real eye-opener that happened through that, it was the most interesting thing, right? Because I just did an initial interview, right, that's just like a half an hour just to get to know a little bit more about somebody in their life history. So I did one of these with my wife's grandmother. And I found out so many cool things about her life. It probably wasn't even 30 minutes, it was like 20 minutes, right? But what happened after that is I went and talked to my wife and I said, "Hey, did you know this about your grandma?" And she was like, "What? No, really?" So here's the story that I got. The story that I couldn't believe that my wife did not know about her grandma was that during World War II, my wife's grandma lives up in Alaska, and during World War II, what happened was her family had gone down for a trip to Iowa. Now, when they got down to Iowa, they're driving around on the road, and what comes across the radio? Pearl Harbor, 1941, I think it was, right? So they're down in Iowa. Pearl Harbor hits. America enters World War II. Now, to get down to the States from Alaska, they had to take a cruise ship. I think it was a steamship, actually. And then take a train to get to Iowa. But there was so much fear of ships getting attacked by submarines that they couldn't get back up to Alaska for a year and a half. So a short family vacation turns into a year and a half long. Being marooned for a year and a half in Iowa. So my wife had no idea about this story. And others, I just couldn't believe them. Like, "You didn't know this about your grandma?" That I found out within 20 minutes of talking to her just from asking questions. So there's this crazy phenomenon where we don't really know our parents and our grandparents, but we trick ourselves into thinking that we do. So we got the holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. My challenge to you is dig in, ask a question to your parents, ask a question to your grandparents, learn something more about their life, and try to find out something that you didn't know before. Ask the stupid questions, ask the questions that you think you know the answer to. I guarantee it's going to be so much more exciting if you ask questions and learn new things, rather than just trying to sit around the table and not talk about politics. Hey Patrick, what's up? Yeah, so crazy phenomenon. Patrick, my good friend, is a storyteller, and I'm sure you understand too the power of digging into stories and asking the stupid questions and learning things that you didn't know before. Because when you think you know everything about your parents and grandparents, you're not going to learn anything new. But when you realize that there's probably a lot of things you don't know, that's when you're going to get some good stories and learn more about them and learn more about your family history. So, all right, that's all. I'm out. The end.